remove the 5 Phillips screws with our number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use needle nose pliers or equivalent just to lift up, get the assembly off. With one hand, hold on to it. With the other hand, just kind of push the circuit board buttons away. We're going to separate the 2 pieces. Okay, let's replace our motor. The first thing we need to do is I get it out of here. So you've got the circuit board cover out of the way. Now we have access to all the wires. We're going to reach in with our needle nose pliers and we're going to gently pull the red and white motor wires, free them from the strain relief slots in the top of the base. After we've done that, we're going to separate the wires from the rest of the wire harness. Okay. Now I got a piece of tape here running up the side, and this kind of keeps all the wires in position and keeps them from going into the path of the motor gear. We're going to pull this back just slightly, but don't remove it. And then I'm going to grab onto the motor, and the motor's now out. To get your new motor, you want to transfer these motor gloves to the brand new motor. Just make sure on this direction. Now how I install this, I normally hold the motor in one hand and I hold the wires in the other. The idea is to get both this red and white motor wire in this track, this little channel you see with the rest of the wires. You want to keep it underneath the motor. Tape might get in the way. Bring the wires up. Now I can put my piece of tape back over. Okay, steady, make sure it sits flat and firm. Now simply reconnect the motor wires, and as in a previous video we do Christmas tree, red to green and brown to white. Okay, and now we simply have to put these somewhere so they don't get in the way of the motor gear. We're going to reinstall them, kind of capture them in this strain relief slot. You can use your needle nose, or if you've got pretty small hands, fingers, you can do it. I got lucky there. And now the motor's, your new motor is installed, and you simply have to put the cover back on now. Okay, time to put the bezel or the circuit board cover back on. A couple different ways to do this. I find it easier to match up the board with the bezel, so we're going to kind of tuck it in on an angle, kind of goes in this direction, and kind of put some pressure behind the board so you see the buttons fully coming through the front. We also want to make sure our wires are tucked down in here. We don't want them to stray in the path of the motor gear. So holding the back of the board with a few fingers, you're going to put this back across, and a little bit of flexing, it should lock into position like that. And always look down through the opening where the motor protrudes and make sure you don't see any wires. If not, we have to lift that back up and do that again. Then the final thing is just to tighten down the 5 Phillips head screws. Snug them down, don't over tighten them, we're going into plastic.